Welcome to the Procrastination Unchallenge, where each day I give you a playful little experiment to try with a little bit of reflection around it to shift your dynamics with procrastination. So, for day one, I want you to play with thinking of all those times you procrastinate as a gift. I know that probably makes no sense initially, but hear me out. Procrastination is your brain trying to help you out. Its job is to protect you from threats. And so when a task feels threatening for some reason, whether it's mind-numbing boredom or overwhelm or confusion or feeling trapped, it's helping you out by going, poof, look, I can make that disappear. And what research shows is that in the moment, your stress level indeed goes down. So it becomes a self-fulfilling cycle, right? Every time you procrastinate, in that moment, the stress goes down. The brain is like, pat myself on the back, I did such a good job. And it does it again. Of course, later our stress goes up. But what causes the behavior to keep occurring is that immediate reward, not the long-term stress. And so if we want to break it down and we start with, wait a second, my brain's trying to protect me from stress. Thank you. Thanks procrastination. Thank you for sparing me from that stress. Got it. That's actually a key step to reducing some of those reactions that make it harder to interrupt the procrastination each time. So that's the experiment for today, is reflect on where is it that you tend to procrastinate? Where is it that you're procrastinating right now? Where is that thing that you meant to do today and you haven't done yet? And pause to reflect, why is that stressing me out? Or why did that stress me out? How is my brain helping me out? And how can I say a little thank you? You can make this as absurd or as sincere as you would like. I personally do better with absurd because I have a snarky sense of humor. So I'll give you an example of one way that this looked like recently for me. I decided to say, thank you, brain, for always giving me something else to do every time I notice my floor needs to be mopped. Every time I notice my floor needs to be mopped, I immediately feel a mixture of shame, boredom, and confusion, because I don't know where the right cleaning supplies are for the hardwood floor. I feel ashamed, especially as a middle-aged woman and mom who is judged by the state of her house, that it is not as clean as it should be. And I feel so bored at even the thought of mopping. And you helpfully just kick it away and point out something else I could do instead and reduce my stress about that mopping in that second. So thank you. I really appreciate that. So why are we doing this, right? In case you're wondering if what this unchallenge is actually about is just going to be to not do any of the things that you've been procrastinating on and just thank yourself for not doing them. It's not. But the reason that we're starting with this is because when we appreciate that our brain is actually looking out for us and trying to help us, it makes it much easier to not get so angry at ourselves when we procrastinate. And there's a couple reasons we want to do that. First of all, it's just not fun to feel angry at ourselves. But second of all, when we get angry at ourselves, we're sending a flood of adrenaline and cortisol and all the different stress hormones through our brain and body. And what that tells our brain is, definitely don't point out when we're procrastinating. Definitely don't do that, because then it'll make everything feel worse. And so it increases the motivation to not notice we're procrastinating, right? So first we procrastinate to avoid the stress. Then we procrastinate even more in order to avoid the additional stress of noticing we're procrastinating. And so when we start to break down that negative reaction, we actually start to reduce the likelihood that we continue to procrastinate. Tomorrow, we'll get into some things that are actually about how to start moving towards actions that you want to take and distinguishing which ones you want to take. But for today, I really just want you to focus on playing around with thanking yourself for everything that you notice that you have been procrastinating on and why you are grateful to your brain for having you procrastinate on it. But here's the thing, if you've come across this on socials and you're not already following me or subscribed to me, then you probably won't see the next day's pointers. So follow, subscribe, and make sure to check back tomorrow.